What was that?
Minion! Sit, got! On my right! Sit!
Finish!
Human after all!
Rebel 2. Action!
Gauntlet Hades! Gauntlet Hades! On my way! Gauntlet!
What was that? What was that? What was that? What was that?
Sit! Sit!
What was that?
Is that it? Sit! Sit!
Finish!
Unleashing Armagus! This ain't over yet.
Rebel 3. Action!
What was that? What was that?
Hells! Gauntlet! Is that it? Is that it? Sit! Gauntlet! Sit!
What was that? 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 What was that?
Sit! Saw that! Sit! Gauntlet! Is that it?
Finish!
Human after all!
Rebel 4. Action!
Gauntlet Hades! Out of my way! Is that it? Out of my way! Shit! Out of my way! Gauntlet! Gauntlet Hades! Sit! Out of my way! Hells! Barrier burst!
What was that?
Minions! Minions! Minions!
Finish!
Why haven't you fallen to oblivion?
Arakuni win! Please select your character. Please select your character. Jin Kisaragi. Jin Kisaragi. New.
I don't have the time to waste on you.
Connection locked.
The wheel of fate is turning. Rebel 1. Action!
Altering space.
Seriously? There. Chill.
Recall.
Wait!
Well. Recall. Intruding. Intruding. Easy. Well.
Seriously?
Open rift. Recall. Altering space. Destruction. Status change.
Seriously? Serious?
Open
What
rift.
the?
Attack. Altering dream.
Die! Stand down! Slow. There. Here.
What? Advancing. Intruding. Advance phase.
Die!
Advance.
Dissipate!
No problem.
What?
Intruding. Advance. No
Here.
problem.
Halt! Die! Here. Halt! You're mine! What's wrong? Try me!
Altering space. Major error.
Slow.
Impact
Blizzard.
Recall.
Think you can dodge this?
Intruding.
Serious? Seriously?
Open. Status change.
Give up!
Recall. Advance.
Why? Hold back!
Finish!
Not good enough.
Outcomes always.
Rebel 2. Action!
Advance.
Try again.
Intruding.
Here. There. Serious?
What?
That won't do.
Altering space.
There.
Easy.
There. Here. Ah! Die! Dissipate! Slow. Here. Here. There. Die! Stand down! Slow. Seriously?
Open rift. Intruding. Advanced patrolling. Recall. Breaking. Intruding. Advancing.
Wait! Give up!
Open rift.
Seriously?
Recall. Advancing. Well.
Seriously?
Recall.
That won't do.
Altering space. Recall. Recall. Reverse.
Here.
Predict advancing.
Counter!
Destruction. Intruding. Recall.
Seriously?
Recall.
Die!
Altering space. Status change.
Distortion finish!
You had good determination.
Rebel 3. Action!
There. Ah! Slow. Here. Here. There. Die! Dissipate! Halt! Die! Here. There. Die! Dissipate!
Counter!
Here. There. There. Here. Die! Dissipate!
No problem.
Blizzard!
No problem.
Serious? What the?
Counter! Counter!
Slow. Halt!
Open
Rapid!
Altering space. Recall.
Truck!
Intruding. Recall.
Finish!
You had good determination.
Rebel 4, action!
There.
Die! Dissipate!
Here.
Blizzard!
Here. That won't do. Here. There. Here. There.
Die! Dissipate! How about? Think you can dodge this? Wait!
Chill.
Serious? Try me. Serious?
No.
Altering space. Altering space.
Serious? Serious? Seriously?
There.
Major error.
There.
Halt! You're mine!
Advanced dismember. Recall. Altering space.
Slow. Seriously?
Advanced failure. Recall.
Give up!
No.
Strike!
Finish!
Not good enough.
Outcomes are placed.
And they still take care of me. Good? You can hear me? Can they hear me on the internet? Oh my gosh. First, a big shout out to Sir Scoots. This guy, like, he is making magic happen over here. And he is not as appreciated as he really should be. Scoots, standing O. All right, so now I can talk to you guys while you're watching the game stuff, because I'm on a very tiny, like 5-inch laptop, and my fingers are so big, so I can't really type back to you guys as fast. All right, so let me shout out to some of you guys here in the chat room. Thanks for hanging with us, by the way. It's Devastation. It's going crazy. Shout outs to Swift Beef. That's a cool name. I can pronounce that name. I like names that I can pronounce with no problem. Law Hill, 1986. I'm guessing that's your birthday. My V Teddy. You're gonna have to explain to me how you came up with that name. Pimp Method, another cool name. Shout out to you, my friend. Spartan Nizzy. True Gamer. The Real Chris Who. Killin. Chris Who, yeah, you're pretty popular around here, man. Ravger. I know I probably messed that one up too. See, it's things like this that display how much of a noob I am when it comes to pronouncing people's names. Yo-Yo. Who else we got up in here? Blade Mage PSN. That's a pretty cool name too. I have not checked my PSN stuff in a while, so if you guys have sent me any messages on there, I apologize. I'm not ignoring anybody. I just haven't checked it in a minute. Gehen. Kale. Nogfu. Shout-outs to Nogfu. Nick Guy 0320. Don Doggy, I can't even see it scrolling so fast. Shout out to you, Don Doggy. Ben Kai, another cool name here. Your Face. My face is on here. Shout outs also going to Levi A. Jones. MIICR. Mirko. Might be. Arcade. I like that. Whatever happened to the arcade? If arcades came back, would you guys still go to them? I don't know if I would. I'm pretty lazy thanks to Xbox Live and PSN. Not much on the Wii. Andy OCR.
Oh, that guy's a sick bison player.
He's a sick bison player?
Yes.
I think I could beat him. JK. Who else we got up in here? I think I already gave a shout out to True Gamer. Nick Guy got you. Enraged 420. Nice one. Kasi. Kedler. I don't see that. I thought that the ones were supposed to be eyes in Elite Talk. I'm just a check-in. Shout out to Chinatown Fair. Lots of love to Chinatown Fair. I love those guys. In case you guys didn't see the text that I was typing earlier, I have Justin Wong tied up in my basement. So he's probably not going to make it out to Devastation unless he chews through the tape. Then we'll probably see him. All right, Master, who am I supposed to be shouting out now? And yes, Super Street Fighter will be tomorrow. Shout outs to Swizzy. Thanks, man. You like my hat? I paid $16 for this do-rag. Can you believe that? I didn't like realize until I got to the register, and they're like, your total's $40. Like, what the heck?
Still Parappa the Rapper, man. Like,
Gotta go Parappa the Rapper. I like that.
it's Vuvuzela time.
Vuvuzela. All right. $16, I know, but it's kind of hot. I get compliments every now and then. University Pinball. Shout outs to you guys.
Are you still talking over there?
I'm just giving shout outs to these guys. Should I wrap it up? Okay. We should have Rapper the Rapper up in here. That's really what we should do. Tecmo for no, thank you. Shadosha, oh my gosh, I'm about to like throw all the stuff off of the table here because they did not announce DOA. They were playing with my emotions. Let's see here. Shout outs from Greece. We got some Greece fans in here.
Shout outs to shout outs.
You got a shout outs to shout outs. SoCal up in the building. New Donkey Kong is coming. Yeah, I saw that at E3. I'm a little bit disappointed in Tecmo. Tecmo, come on now. I'm borderline a fanboy, and I don't claim that for anything. 2 inches. Okay, what did you introduce yourself to me at PAX East as? New Pac-Man? Oh, we got UK in the building and France. We got some France spice.
Not yet.
New MK. See, I'm a fan of the not so overtly violent games, especially when it comes to the fighting. But dang, MK9 looks off the Yozabar. Trinidad and Tobago. I was actually born. Okay, wrap it up. Okay, guys, listen. I love you guys so much, but I gotta wrap it up because we're getting ready to go live again. So don't go nowhere. Peace.
You had good determination. I'll get...
Rebel 2. Action!
There. Here, chill. Die! Dissipate! Trivia. Here. Chill. Slow. There. There. Here. Die! Stand down! Here. Blizzard! Blizzard! How about? No.
Altering space.
Impossible!
Altering space. Status open rift.
There. Gale. Why hold back? What? Think you can dodge this?
Finish!
Damn obstacle!
Rebel 3. Action!
Wait!
Counter.
There. Here. Chill. Die. Dissipate. Here. What's wrong? Die. Dissipate. Think you can dodge this? Slow. There. There. Here. Die. Dissipate. Out there.
Altering space.
You got it.
Finish!
Halt. You're mine. You had good determination.
Rebel 4. Action!
Here. Here. There. Here. Die. Dissipate. Serious? There. Die. Dissipate.
Altering space.
You got some trick rock. Serious? Die. Dissipate.
Major error predicted.
Seriously? Seriously?
Advanced retreating. Major error.
Seriously?
Recall.
That won't do.
Altering space. Destruction.
Seriously?
Wait.
Here.
Wait. Retreating. Attack. Altering space. Must be predictable.
Try.
Altering space. Retreating.
Counter. Finish.
Why do you even bother wasting my time?
Jean. Win. Please select your character.
We're ready to jump on into this game, guys, as we continue the tournament coverage of Blaze Blue. And looking at the brackets, it actually had quite a few entries. So, definitely, definitely good to see. Obviously, you want to continue to see the communities grow and get even bigger and bigger. But do you know anything about these players?
I know a lot about NecroSun. A big shout out to PJ Redhouse right here. He's a really, really cool cat. He loves playing games. He's going to be playing Guilty Gear. Be on the lookout on Guilty Gear if that's one thing. He's going to be playing that later as Devastation keeps on going. And I've played him enough to know that he's really, really into Blaze Blue with his Arachne. He's got really good Rachel, and he was learning Carl for a bit, which Jemmy Nemi has picked up, apparently. Carl Clover. But again, PJ is a real cool dude. I actually drove down from Flagstaff with him. Big shout out to Jeremy, who also gave us the ride. And we're going to get this thing started.
All right, so NecroSun is playing your character, actually.
Yes.
So this is good because I was kind of at a loss for, what are some of the key things that, as that character, and is playing that character that you need to be, doing and looking out for. So we're going to be focusing on the action here. So, Tumazo.
As much as you guys probably saw my Arachne a little earlier, Arachne is very, very complex with his clouds, with his little cursing. We'll get into that in a bit, but the important thing is to notice Carl Clover. We haven't seen Carl yet on here. Carl is probably one of the most advanced player in the game because technically you're fighting two. He's got a doll called Nirvana. It has its own separate life bar, usage bar. It just ran out, so you see the doll looks kind of dead. It's actually recharging. DJ got out of that real quick. NecroSun got out real quick, real nice. Got him cursed. It's going to be a little bit before Nirvana's back online, so Jemmy Nemi needs to be a little bit more defensive. Wait for it. There's Nirvana's back. So with Carl, there are like maybe 15, 20 different ways of putting any character into an infinite loop of damage. You have to really know how to get out of it, let alone how to do it. And just the fact that Jemmy Nemi picked Carl is a big indication that Jemmy Nemi is here to play.
So explain to me too, the Carl's, I guess, puppet, you could call it. Is it with attacks the bar goes down and then it must recharge, or
with each time you see Nirvana move, period, or get hit by an Arachne attack, you are seeing the little bit of that life below Carl's name go down. Now, and with that big flash, it got killed, so now it needs to recharge, and Jemmy Nemi pretty much cannot use the D. He only has like A, B, C to do anything. He's got his own specials and everything. NecroSun had a really good chance to get some added pressure with the free curse after that failed super. And the important thing to note is that Nirvana, there's just this big trap. Once you see Nirvana and Carl sandwiching any character, it is pretty much a death trap, right? Like right there. Arachne knew that he needed to get out, so he dove, and that was a very smart play by NecroSun. So now he's getting some added zoning by cursing him with the bugs. Anytime you see a bug fly out of Arachne, or you see his neutral spit kind of thing where it just looks like a cloud, and you're gonna see that, all these circles around the enemy. All of that pretty much means that each time you release A, B, C, or D, there's a loop right there. 1, 2 is gonna be able to do it for big damage. You'll be able to combo a lot of, that was a good counterattack by Jimmy Nemi. You'll be able to do a lot of different pressure and placing the bugs where you want them or where your opponent thinks you want them. And a lot of times the bugs come out right where the person didn't expect it, just like where Jimmy Nemi got cursed there in the corner. And
looks like
some
this
corner
might
rush
be
down.
Yeah,
That was a smart burst by Necro-Sun and a very good curse. He's getting out of the way because he knows Nirvana's been tearing him up. Ooh, that was an amazing mix-up right there.
And so, although we did see Jemmy Nemi pick up the first 2 rounds, we've now got a round on the side of Necro-Sun. And what would you say he did differently? Was it more of his positioning and being more aware?
Definitely about positioning. When we saw Lychee a little bit earlier, oh no, here it comes. Wow, this is very complicated right here. And Necro-Sun actually got out very, very luckily. I've seen some players that just keep you in that even when you break out of that throw. So you literally have to bury your burst and then break the throw to really find an opening. Yes, Necro-Sun has been kind of baiting that move, that super, that leaves Carl very open.
But he also doesn't necessarily seem to punish. He can't really punish it unless you're on the other side of it, I'm assuming.
Yes, he can punish it. It's very complicated with Arachne's positioning, and I know for a fact PJ plays on a stick, arcade stick. He's playing it on it right now, and that's definitely one of the more advanced Arachne. Like I was saying with a control pad, more so with Arachne and even Rachel, it's easier to just have all those buttons on your thumb and on your fingers than individually spread out and having to use kind of one hand just for your buttons.
So Jemmy Nemi does pick up the first game, and of course these are best of 3 games and best of 5 rounds, so we'll see if Necro-Sun picked anything up, any intricacies that he might be able to exploit as far as Jemmy Nemi goes. But Carl looks really solid, and I got to say, as someone who's pretty inexperienced with this game, Carl just looks like a tough player to play, especially in this like sandwich situation right here.
What is going on right now is one of the more complicated things, most complicated things in Blaze Blue. The best thing to do is what Necro-Sun did, just take the damage, jump away, and try to move on. Try to reposition yourself, because Carl, out of all the characters in Blaze Blue, once he has you in that position, there's extremely little things you can do, and of the little things you can do, he can punish you very quickly for trying to be ambitious of jumping away. Right now, I don't know if we mentioned it, Carl has a negative warning. Those red stripes mean that he was retreating too much. I'm noticing that when Jemmy Nemi is Nirvana is offline, he's been kind of running away, trying to play more defensively, and he's been using Nirvana a whole lot, so Nirvana can actually recover, but Jemmy Nemi is not really giving her that chance. Right now, oh, that was an excellent catch with Necro-Sun. Necro-Sun is just trying to read his Carl very well, and as long as Carl's Nirvana is gone, it seems to be almost guaranteed that Jemmy Nemi is going to retreat, and that negative warning means he's going to take about twice as much damage of every single move.
Okay.
Necro-Sun's playing a pretty good game right now of trying to damage Nirvana. Any hit while Nirvana's moving like that will do damage to it. But that move right there where she's got those nails has extremely high priority.
And looks it too.
Oh, and here comes another ground loop.
Sandwich time, PBJ please.
Oh man, just got me hungry.
Wow. Now what's stopping Necro-Sun from saying barrier
That's like
bursting
50%
there?
damage right there.
The little icon in the corner, in between the barrier and the name, is actually a BB, barrier burst. When there's an X in it, you cannot barrier burst. And more importantly, it's one of the, more so with any character, it's hard to reserve that barrier burst. But right here, it is essential because he's back in the loop again. That is exactly when you need a barrier burst against that. And because of that, Necrosun's been really holding back on barrier bursting because one slip of the thing and he barrier bursts too early or a little too late, and there's not. Oh, Jimmy Nemi can out handle this pressure. He's trying to get Nirvana in there. Nirvana's taking huge hits.
Wow. That's it.
That was it.
Now,
that was
tell me,
extremely quick.
because it looks like that has the potential to be an infinite.
It technically is
Please select
in
your
certain
character.
aspects. I gotta say, good match for both of you guys. Great match. That was really close, and
Jemmy Nemi was the winner, by the way.
Jemmy
if you
Nemi
didn't
won with
catch
his
that,
Carl, and yeah, overall, a lot of people kind of avoid Carl because it really does take about a month straight of playing just to learn the basics.
Wow.
And he just has so much opportunity once he really does get really heavy into it. You can call it an infinite and kind of put it in some sort of aspect of being quote unquote broken, but there are plenty of ways to really, if you want to be really hardcore about it, you learn about Carl and you learn that you got to avoid it here, do that barrier burst now like Necro-Sun did, and you just got to stay more pressure like he's trying
All
to.
right, and I believe
Against Tager is magnetized. It's kind of daring the other enemy, kind of daring Jin. Go in the air because I will catch you and grab you very, very quick. One of the best grapplers in like the entire game because he has so many different throws and throw combinations. Also, another quick thing to point out is that Tager is obviously the largest character in the game, and we go back to the conversation about how the sprites have come so far and everything. This game really does have Tager-only combos. Oh no? My buddy Gabe would be happy to know that I still remember him saying that that would be a ghetto setup. He's got a lot of setups for that move. That move right now with Jin's health would have killed him. It does that much damage in just one grab. But Order Soul played it real smart, avoided it. He's taking the punishment now for getting that
Trying to
counter
turn this
hit.
around, he just might do it too. Oh.
The rush down keeps going. Gabe chose, again, another smart rapid cancel so that he wasn't too vulnerable and punishable.
Nice.
And Jin catches it with that overhead freeze.
so. Order Soul's up now 2-1 over Gabe Z. And again, I believe this is quarterfinals. Don't quote me on that, though, guys.
Now, if anything, if all the people watching online, you got your PS3 nearby, other than the dash for Gabe Z, find these guys on BlazBlue. They're really awesome. They'll love to accept a friend request, get some player matches, see you on ranked. They're the kind of characters that play the game, enjoy the game, and then encourage other people to play this game because this game's just crazy for its own good, and it needs a lot of good exposure like these players right here. They're playing smart, and they're not afraid to try new things. Also, I've seen Gabe Z play Ragna and sometimes Bang, and again, we saw Order Soul. He takes the first match. Seen Order Soul play as more than just Jin.
Well, he's been using I've only seen him, at least on the stream here. I'm not sure if he switched around because you said earlier that's not his, obviously his only character, right?
Yes. When you go online and you see Order Soul 22, you will see Jin as his quote-unquote main character. While how that's set up is very personal with how many times you actually play online.
The dispute is now, was that warm-up or was that live?
What's that?
The dispute right now is, was that warm-up or was that live?
All right, we're finding out. There's a discussion now of whether or not that was actually live, and
It looked pretty live to me.
we watched it live, but was it? Were they under the impression that they were warming up?
Well, we yelled over
or-
and said, this is live, right? And they nodded.
That's the impression I got
yeah.
here.
Yeah.
The nodding normally indicates that yes.
To put in my 2 cents, though, that match was already underway. Jin already won that first round by the time we said that. So we were kind of...
It was live, okay.
It was? Okay.
It was live.
Go
This
me.
is game 2 then. So Order Soul 22 did pick up the first game. It was live. It's official.
The official. That's another thing about these big tourneys that I see on Evo and stuff. We see all the highlights of so-and-so fighting so-and-so on this other game, and it's awesome. But when it comes to the nitty-gritty, making sure that it's run, going back to the people who were saying on the thing, too much BB, we're trying to do the best we can. We enjoy, for the most part, for all the part, you guys just tuning in, which is freaking awesome. Shoot, if I weren't here, I'd be tuning in, which is really awesome. And we're going to just try to do our best, make sure it's run the way the players are able to perform to the best of their abilities. So we see Gabe putting down a big Tager rush down. One little thing to take note is I have seen it more with Gabesy than any other fight so far. When somebody goes in for a throw, you'll see little exclamation marks over their head. That one little mechanic about BlazBlue is that throw escapes are kind of unique, in which if you combo into him, which you can, and reset the combo, you're actually given a lot more time to counter that throw. So if a pro finds a loop of getting you in this hit, and then throwing you, which I've seen Order Soul catch some really good air throws, there is still a lot of defensive options for you to escape that. There's another throw escape, because as we know, Tager's the big grappler in the game.
Tager seems to be a little bit more aggressive in this particular matchup. I'm not sure if it was a byproduct of that live, not live game or whatnot, but I mean, Order Soul definitely still putting in the damage that he's been putting in, but Gabe Z looks like maybe he's just trying to get a little bit more in your face in this matchup.
If there's another confident thing I can say about Gabe Z for knowing him for over 2 years now, is that he will think during the fight. This is a very fast game. You might think that you just got to mash buttons. That's kind of what I do with Arachne after a while. But Gabe Z is very smart with whoever he is, who he's playing as and playing against, and he will change up some tactics and catch the other person guessing. Much like that. We've seen Gabe Z sledgehammer attack. Now he's trying to get some good techs with the magnetism. But instead, oh, that was a good catch. It's going to be some big damage right here.
Wow.
A lot of Gabe Z's.
Oh, there it is. 720.
And check out his face. So wait, now it looks like a lot of Gabe Z's attacks are not punishable. Is that the case with his character?
It's difficult to explain that. A lot of his moves are slow and long and big. That move has invincibility for projectiles, but if someone were to just run up to him while he's still revving up that move right there, then he can get hit and it's not infallible. But at the same time, once it's actually out, you better not be trying to attack or else you're going to get a counter hit.
It looked like he was setting up for that a lot.
Yes. Gabe Z also going for another 720, I could tell right there. It was very quick. Oh no, there's another throw right there.
Uh-oh.
It's going to take some damage. Order Soul chose not to burst right there. That was actually kind of smart decision, because now Order Soul's taking the pressure. Gabe Z trying to be a little more aggressive.
Can he turn it around? Is it going to be enough? Is it going to be enough? I think so.
There it is.
There it is.
That was very close.
OMG.
Very close.
Now, it looked like he did, a tech roll out of, like, right back into a combo. Is that what I saw right there?
Yes. Again, the defensive options in this game, once you get knocked down, Jin is technically knocked down right now. He rolls right now. There's a timing to it and very different types. You can roll to the side, roll to the other side, so you're kind of rolling towards your opponent. If your opponent was thinking you're going to roll away, they'll be dashing. You'll catch them off guard with a throw or something. And then you can also just neutral roll, which will go over a lot of low hitting or a lot of anticipation moves of rolling. And with that uppercut, oh man, Jin's keeping the pressure. There's an air throw right there into some more combo.
This is a big round right now for Gabe Z. If he wins this one, he's going to tie it up one game apiece, but obviously Order Soul making it really hard, and now that he's just got a sliver of health left, he is really, really going for that final hit.
Oh, there it is.
Two rounds to 2 rounds.
It's going to tie us up, so this is match point for Order
Soul
Soul right here. Gabe Z needs this to stay alive.
Ooh. Talking about Tager only combos, because of his large frame, Jin can easily do that combo. So that's definitely Order Soul showing again that he knows not just his character, but knows that he's fighting Tager.
Like roll reversal here, and Order Soul wants to wrap this one up.
That could be it.
It's going to be a berry burst right there.
No.
Berry burst being used as sort of last-ditch effort there, it seems like, in almost every case that we've seen it.
And there it is.
There it is. Order Soul is going to win that one.
Very well
Two
played.
games. Gabe Z almost picking up that second one.
Very.
Almost picking up that second one. But so far, Order Soul is actually undefeated here on the Devastation 2010 stream. And it looks like Tubazo is going to be coming up next. And then I see some Wii's being brought up to the stations. I think that means some Tatsunoko versus Capcom.
I think that's what could be what it means.
Yeah. We're going to be, but I believe we're going to have some more. Some
support.
BB here just for a moment, and we're going to let Tubazo get set up, and we're going.
What do you think of that last match?
What's that?
What do you think of the last match?
You know what? Order Soul 22. Frankly, he just seems like he's obviously a favorite in this tournament. I mean, just based off of what I've seen, how he's played, how he's handled his opponent. I think it was really telling, Swoozy, when Order Soul tried to character switch in that first match, because it was almost like, I'm in easy mode right now.
Right.
I'm going to just play with an
Not
alternate
put out my
character,
big guns
make
yet.
it fun a little bit.
Right.
But he's stayed consistent with Jin in the matches, and although we've had some close ones, he looks like he's sort of one of the guys to beat.
Right.
Of those that are here. I don't know that I necessarily agree with you there, Tristan. So we're going to get started here with this next matchup here as we're starting to get down to final players here, and good luck to both, as we have actually seen both these players up on the stream. I expect it to be balanced because I'm passionate about the games, and I want deep in my heart, maybe I could convince myself that it will be balanced. That's why. So we've got Draco versus Tubazo here. Draco using Akumen, and Tubazo using Arkunin.
All right, yeah, so basically Tubazo is going to do what he's doing before, just rush him down. Hakumen actually has a really bad barrier meter, so if he guards a lot, he'll get guard crushed. So that actually works out in Tubazo's favor.
Interesting. So each player has a different values for their barrier meter?
Yes, it's different values. So some characters, they can get guard crushed faster than others. Like it takes Tager forever, whereas like Tao Kaka she has the worst. So basically he's going to use that to his advantage. Also, Hakumen's more like a power character. Like he's really slow, but he does really good damage. So I mean, it's not so much momentum as the last matchup that Tubazo was in on the stream with against Rachel. It's more who's gonna, like, it's Artakune gonna do what he just did, was just basically overpower him, or is Hakumen gonna get the 6 hits in and kill him? But I mean, those 6 hits are going to be hard to get, so it's going to be definitely a lot of work. I mean, obviously, if you just look at the timing that it takes for a lot of Hakumen's moves to execute, they're really slow. They they do really good damage, but they're just slow.
And you could tell, I mean, just by watching him on this, I mean, what he's done now for the last 20 seconds is essentially block, looking for that opening to try to punish.
Right, and I mean, it's basically, that's going to be his best tactic. I mean, Hakumen actually has a counter that he can use, but it's, I don't know, there's just so much stuff that's going on that Artakune can throw out there that it's kind of hard to chance that counter. Like, I don't know if I would risk it if I was playing Hakumen, so.
I mean, this looks pretty devastating.
Yeah, I mean, it's just a really hard match. I mean, Artakune obviously being, arguably the best character in the game. There's the top 3 is sort of like a little triangle, paper, rock, scissors. One is better than the other in some ways and whatnot, but Hakumen's definitely not up there. So it's going to be a huge challenge for him to even get out of a lot of the setups.
Well, and it also goes to show, we talked a little bit about the mobility of Tubazo's character, and it's even more evident now. We saw it in the versus Rachel match, but now versus a character like Hakumen, who just seems very slow in these attacks. It seems like a very hard matchup to have to play.
Right. And I'm pretty sure Tubazo's aware of that. That's why, if you notice, he is just doing
very nice,
just ridiculous attacks.
That was over three. That was 3 rounds like that.
And that will be the first game going to Bazo.
Draco kind of looked down at his stick for a second, like trying to reevaluate what the heck just happened.
Yeah.
Here we go into game number 2. These are best of 3 games or matches, and then best of 5 rounds. And it looks like we're going to have a switch. What do you think about this switch, Tristan? Was that a smart
I think it's
move?
actually a smart move, especially considering that Ragnar at least has a, he's kind of got a get out of jail free card with his uppercut. So, you know, very sure you can ask, like, just throw it out there. Hopefully it'll hit. And especially, you know, like something that's a little bit different than Street Fighter, like, since you have rapid cancel, you know, it's sort of like focus canceling now, which is actually really good because if you do it and it doesn't hit, at least you have a kind of you can get out of it. But otherwise, yeah, Ragnar's uppercut's really good. His rushdown's a lot better. It's not gonna, I don't think it's gonna make a difference in this round, but Ragnar can at least regenerate health in some form. But he also takes kind of bad damage, so that doesn't help him.
Well, I mean, it certainly looks like a lot different matchup than what we were seeing in the last one. Obviously, increasing that mobility seems to make it at least a little bit easier to fight.
Yeah, it's a little bit easier. But I mean, if you look like Tabazo's, he's going in, he's attacking, he's in and out. He doesn't want to get hit by that uppercut or any of Ragnar's big damaging moves. He's just going for, you know, guard crush locks, and it's so hard because you have to avoid getting cursed, and you get cursed if you even touch the thing. You know, it doesn't have to hit you. You could be blocking. If the thing hits you, you're cursed. So it's really messed up that he can kind of do some of that stuff.
You just don't like playing against it, I can tell.
I really like Arakune's character. I mean, there's not a lot of games, especially in the fighting game, where a lot of the characters seem very, you know, almost palette swap or very similar. Like Arakune's is very, like as you said earlier, very, very, very different. You know, his sprite looks weird. He's got the whole, you know.
Dude, sometimes he doesn't even have a sprite.
Yeah,
sometimes
like
it seems like he is invisible. That's why I was talking when we saw this match versus Rachel. It's like when you see Rachel fight against other characters, you're like, oh my God, dude, she's all over the place. And then, you know, you've got something like this.
Yeah, I mean, it's really scary. He's got such a quick overhead, too. The high-low mix-up just is phenomenal. Tsubasa definitely, he knows what he's doing. He's not staying in for long because he knows that you get hit. So he kind of just jumps in, does a couple moves, gets out of there, and...
Wow.
That was 6 rounds, wasn't it?
That's 6 already.
Yeah, Tsubasa makes quick work there of Draco. And that's Draco.
I think I could beat him.
Getting up now, so we've got to be getting close here to
I think he's got another match coming up.
Okay.
I think we're running back to back.
Then that might have been a semifinal, dude. He might be playing the winner of Order Soul 22 and Jemmy Nemi. We'll find out here in just a second. Oh, guys, is this what we're going to see? A mirror match?
This match is going to look really weird. It's going to look kind of like the Rachel Arakune match where just
every match looks
It's just going to look like puffs of whatever color they are, smoke, pretty much.
The smoke monster from Lost.
But I mean, I guess, you know, the best matchup is going to be a mirror match.
Well, the Wheel of Fate is turning,
no character
Tristan,
advantage.
so.
Well, there's no character advantage.
You're right. You're right. May the best man win, right?
Yeah.
But it's still, like, it still makes it, it just changes the matchup considerably. You know?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
All right, so right now, Tubazo actually taking the brunt of most of the damage here, Tristan.
Yeah, I mean, but a lot of the character's weakness is being rushed down, and what's better than a rushed down character that has the exact same moves? So, you know, it's almost like Articune's worst matchup is Articune.
Right. No, it makes a ton of sense.
Wow.
And as you can see.
He had a hovering curse. What was that one all about? It was never descending. It just stayed up in the atmosphere.
I'm sorry, say that again?
He put the curse up there, and he just had that cloud of smoke just hovering over him.
Right.
Normally they come down. How come that one
like I said before, Articune actually has 3 of them.
Okay.
He's got the ring that kind of follows him.
Right.
He's got the cloud, the small cloud that actually tracks, so it'll go to wherever the opponent is, and then there's a hover cloud that just goes above.
Got it.
Even if they jump, it still moves up, but it doesn't move up at the same rate as the character would jump, so they could still get hit by it.
Okay.
But you can also kind of pop them up into the air into it. There's a lot of neat combos that I've seen that kind of rely on that.
Okay. Yeah, I wasn't paying attention to anything you said, up until this moment, so.
It's so hard in this game too. I mean, there's just so much stuff going on. as you can see, like the momentum just changed.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
the last match, you know, Tron just had it, and then now look at him, he's on the receiving end.
So does it just come down to placement?
Wow.
Because I mean, it's like out the gate
Yeah,
placement,
it's like it's
positions,
out the
rush
gate.
down.
Like, whoever kind, it's sort of like Marvel in that like whoever gets that first hit,
Okay.
like the momentum. Like if
Okay.
you don't stop the momentum, that's you get the round.
All right, well, we went back and forth. We basically split rounds on the first one. Now we're tied 1-up, and we're going to see Tubazo get the opening damage here at about 60%. But as I've seen so far with a lot of the BlazBlue that we've seen, you can be in the life lead, but that does not mean that you're necessarily winning by any
Oh yeah,
means.
absolutely not. Especially with things, you know, all the damage. If if a character incorrectly barrier bursts, then they're taking more damage. It's so easy to do 50, 70, 80% combos. Especially when you have, oh, there we go. So we've got a barrier burst. He did rapid cancel. That was really smart.
And Tronzilla is going to be in the danger zone as Tubazo will pick up his second round. He's now on game point here for this one. So when you look at these two, Tristan, can you, especially from a mirror match, someone who's not familiar with the game, like what are you seeing that sets the two players apart, do you think?
Actually, both of their strategies are very similar. So I mean, they're definitely high level play. Because I mean that's just what you're supposed to do. You know, you want to curse as often as possible. Make sure that that's out there, because if the curse hits, I mean that's what fills the screen with stuff. They're both playing aggressive. They're both playing really smart. As you saw in the last round, there was the barrier burst. Actually, Tubazo did a rapid cancel, which was actually really smart. He knew that that was going to come, so he canceled out of his move. They're both playing really safe, really smart. At this point now, it's gimmicks and skill, just between the two. I mean, I don't think that they're really doing anything incorrectly.
Well, Tubazo must have just taken that momentum. He's got Tronzilla down to just a sliver of health, and one final hit. There it is, and Tubazo will take his first game. And he got to pretty much fight him back to back.
Tronzilla says he's keeping the same character.
Yeah. Yeah, well, I mean, you look at that first round where he opened up, he kind of put the hurt down on Tubazo, so maybe just looking for those opportunities once again. That's kind of why I was asking, like, what do you see that sets him apart? And I actually have another observation question about this particular character. It seems like there's real quick recovery time after a lot of the special moves for this particular character. Is that true, or is it just the
I mean, a lot of
his
his, like, he doesn't really have that many, like, especially his specials.
So there's a lot of normals that we're seeing?
He has a couple of normals that are really slow. You saw the last round where he kind of comes out of the ground and does like the little spike. That move's really slow. It's probably one of his slowest moves, but it also does a ton of damage and leads to really good combos. So, I mean, as you can see, like, they're bouncing back and forth. Tubazo wasn't even on the screen for a second. We don't know where he is. So, I mean, a lot of his normals, I mean, Arakune's normals are good. I mean, that's why he's such a great character. He's got great moves, great mobility, nothing that just that's just that unsafe. He can do the shark bite swan dive thing and then kind of cancel out of that.
Is that the official name for it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
Shark dive swan kind of thing?
Yeah, that's what it says in the manual, actually. One other thing that I noticed about Tronzilla, and it may just be something that I know that, he was doing and I just noticed now, but it looks like he's putting that curse, like, up high, almost like air, almost to control the
anti-air
up
almost.
there. Is that one of the strats that...
Yeah, you want to do that. Definitely, you want to control. The thing about this game is it's not just lateral space that you want to control.
Right.
Like, you want to control as much space as you possibly can.
Player's almost at even health.
Tronzilla did do a barrier burst, though.
Zoe looking to take this one. Can he do it?
Oh.
Uh-oh.
There you
No.
go.
Put up a very good fight at the end, though.
Game 2, Tronzilla takes round number 1. Almost went to a time over. But the final hit's out. And Tronzilla needs to pick these two up to tie it up here with Tubazo.
Yeah, one thing that you notice, like, both players at the same time, they're almost doing curse identical. They know what they're supposed to be doing. They're doing it well. Tubazo keeping an eye on the meter. There's a little curse meter just below his avatar there. So once that runs out, he's ready to throw out another one.
Dang.
And he just, he hits it so quickly. Arakune actually has a couple of moves that aren't the cloud that will also curse. So that's, I mean, just, it's so many ways to get the curse. It's such a good move. The little shark bite thingy is really good.
Wow. So almost just like the first matchup, we see Tronzilla come out with a quick first round win, and then Tubazo kind of says, okay, I've read you, I watched you, I've scanned you, I've analyzed you, I've run it through the library in my brain, and now he dominated the second round. We're going to see if he's going to continue this little deja vu and see if he can keep on, but it looks like Tronzilla is getting the majority of this initial damage.
Yeah, Tronzilla got the curse first. That's kind of the Arakune game. You're going to play the mirror match. You want to get that curse first. And he's got it again.
It looked like he threw his cloud out and then actually hit him into that curse too. That last one.
Yeah.
Pretty nice.
And then, I mean, once they're cursed, if you do your setups right, you can just recurse them, and then it's so much harder to get out of it. I mean, Arakune has the luck factor. He can just curse them back. Most other characters can't do that.
Tronzilla's starting to get in the danger zone right now. And Tubazo, who has definitely been doing very well with this character. Very nice air combo, and we're going to see a barrier burst there. And it always seems like that last-ditch effort. But Tubazo's going to pick another one. He's on match point right here, so he could end it. Tronzilla needs this round to stay alive.
Oh.
That initial
That's another thing about this game. I mean, you don't see throws that often in matches like this, so it's almost like a wild card. Like, I'm just gonna throw this out. Like, just do the throw. They do really great damage.
Zoe looking to close this one out here pretty convincingly.
I think he wants the closest thing to a perfect he can get.
Just in case there's any doubt.
Well, he's pretty darn close right now.
At this point, I am thinking that Tronzilla is scared.
And there it is.
Wow. Tubazo picks up another one now. And I believe our next matchup...
Is it Tubazo again? Are you...
Please select your character.
Water?
He says he needs water. I need water. Yes. I don't blame you, dude. I don't blame you. Okay, so I see Jemmy Nemi getting up, so we might be seeing...
I'm really excited for this match.
Yeah? Why?
He plays Carl.
Oh, that's right.
Carl is such an awesome character. It's like two characters in one for free. They're doing it.
Yep, they're live. Jemmy Nemi versus Tubazo.
Now, on the flip side here, Carl does take really bad damage.
Okay.
So if Arakune, especially now, and negative warning, that's not going to help. He's trying to get out of it. I mean, if you just look at the meter,
so
like
explain
the
the negative warning is when you are basically retreating.
Yes, if you retreat too much, you take more damage for it.
Okay.
The game will punish you for that.
Well, so far to seem to be about evil with Carl, Jemmy Nemi having the advantage right here, but definitely not as, I would say, dominating as the last time we saw Jemmy Nemi play.
I've seen this.
Peanut butter and jelly sandwich time.
Just the loops that Carl can do. I love his dash. He looks so innocent. He's such a good character.
He looks so innocent.
Oh, he does.
I'm going to just pretend like he didn't say that.
Got little Carl and Michael Jackson over there.
Shimona.
All right, so definitely looking like Tubazo using his mobility a little bit, but you notice Jemmy Nemi almost turtling up, always staying behind his doll, not looking for that opportunity to sandwich.
There it
is. There it is, but it's recharging.
And that's a really bad time for Carl. Carl's moves on their own, they're good, but they're not great. Arakune definitely has the advantage until Nirvana's back.
So, as a rule of thumb, that is when you want to become ultra aggressive versus Carl.
If you get the opportunity, that's when you're going to want to do it. Carl doesn't have a lot of ways of getting out of stuff without Nirvana. The fact that you can kind of control Nirvana even while you're getting hit, in some cases, that it really helps. You could do basically what's going to happen right now. He's got loops.
Wow. Very nice.
Oh.
And it looked like he tried to escape out of there, but
He almost
still
got
was
out
able
of the
to catch
loop.
it. And that seems to be very difficult to do.
It's also very difficult. Actually, if the Carl player knows that they're going to try to get out of the loop, he has ways to put them back into it if he kind of fishes it out. Now, I mean, yeah, it's really easy for Articuno to kind of, you know, wreck Nirvana with a lot of the stuff that he sends out when they're cursed. So that's kind of an advantage that Articuno has in this match. But if you notice, you know, versus the other rounds, Tubazo's actually playing it really safe. Like,
well, I mean, this seems to be like much smarter play. So Dahl's going to go basically in recharge mode here for a second, but he stayed away and kind of worked on that meter.
Yeah, he's working on, he's kind of zoning a little bit.
And that, I mean, that strat looked like it was solid in terms of what he thought he was going to do. It's pretty much stay away.
He's a little afraid to rush in. If you rush in, you could fall in anything that Carl has. And then once Carl gets started, you know, the same thing, the loops start coming. Once you get the peanut butter and jelly sandwich,
yes, sir.
The PB&J going, it's so hard to get out of it. So it's almost easier just to kind of just play it safe, you know? Keep your distance.
Keep both of them in the wall.
Yeah, you don't want Nirvana. You don't want to be in between Nirvana and Carl, ever.
Right. Also good damage combos coming out here by Tubazo, and it you know, in danger in that corner there a little bit, but now he's got Carl to force back. Now he got recharge on the Dahl, so this seems to be prime time for Tubazo to come up. He can tie it up right here.
And Carl also has a really bad block meter for the guard crush. He just got guard crushed. Oh, but he couldn't follow through.
So you mentioned that Carl doesn't take damage well. Does that include on chip damage?
Oh no.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Not a good situation, my friend.
That's
now,
it.
Not a good situation, my friend.
And that's going to be first game going to Jemmy Nemi right there. It looked like he was actually out of it.
Yeah.
And then he just didn't block. Yeah, did we? That's what the was over there. Yeah, it looked like he was out of it, like he had the chance, but.
I call shenanigans.
I mean, even at that point, once you've kind of done the tech, I mean, Carl has a 50-50 right there. So, you know, you can block lower, block high.
All right, so this is game 2. Jemmy Nemi up 1. This is the semifinals of Blaze Blue right now. So 2 of, I guess, the 4 remaining in the winner's bracket battling it out right now. And in the first few rounds, we saw Jemmy Nemi very much dictate the flow, the pace of the battle. And then we saw Tubazo get a little bit smart in terms of his zoning, where he was attacking, managing Carl Dahl's power a little bit more. So we'll see if that can take him into a victory here for game number 2.
He's definitely trying. And if you notice, I mean, he's on the other side of the screen. As long as he doesn't really move the screen, he won't get hit for negative penalty, which, I mean, that would just destroy Articuno right now. He's already barrier burst. He has to play super safe. He can't take any damage at this point. I mean, if he gets hit by anything, any loop, anything, he's done. Nirvana's back in the game. It's just so messed up. I mean, 2 characters, really. Nirvana has her own life meter.
You know what?
She doesn't take damage.
I kind of like that mechanic, though. I mean, it's unique. It's... Wow.
Maybe once a round, but not like multiple times around.
Not okay.
Not okay.
All right, well, Tubazo picks up the first round here. Apparently the strategy that he somewhat discovered seems to be working pretty well versus Jemmy Nemi, the Carl player.
I noticed that Jemmy Nemi was actually in danger. I did not actually see a burst or a negative penalty. So I don't know when it happened. It's so fast.
All right, well, right now we're about even.
Oh.
Looks like we're going to get another one of those loops.
Oh, no.
Oh, and he barrier burst, but still got stuck in.
Right. Tubazo knows what he's doing. I mean, he's been able to successfully limit the damage. I mean, obviously, Jimmy Nemi could have taken that to the death, but Tubazo knows what he's doing. He knows how to get out of the car loop. He's probably had some pretty solid Carl experience.
Ooh.
Wow.
God, it looks like you have to be so patient to play against Arakune just because, you know, I've seen all those projectiles out. It's just like to block. I couldn't handle that. I would get absolutely raged by every single one of those.
It's definitely a patient game. Jimmy Nemi's a negative penalty. That's not going to help him.
Tubazo going to either go for chip or waiting the clock out here.
We saw a comeback though before in the same situation.
I think we want to see it again.
He's going to wait it out. I think he's going to try to wait it out.
Articune's not even on the screen right now. Don't get hit.
Don't get hit, homie. Don't get hit, homie. 1 second on the clock. Oh, very nice. Patience game. Played that cat and mouse. Said, come and get me, dog. Very nice.
He got the crush and just couldn't follow through.
And so we could see Tubazo tied up right here, which would actually be our first tied match that I think we've seen on the stream, aside from the ones that were just displayed.
This is such a good match. I mean, a lot of people kind of underestimate Carl, and he's just such a solid player. He doesn't have a lot of the, you know, like he doesn't have like the infinite or the invincible uppercut or anything like that, but it's just a whole new strategy. He doesn't really play like any character from Guilty Gear really either. So it's almost like, you know, really new character design here. Articuno and Carl. He's got that instant dive that you see him doing. That's really good.
Which he seems to be utilizing a lot more in this matchup than he has in the past. And you can tell that Jimmy Nemi is really dynamically changing his game. Oh.
And he just teleported at the wrong time.
Was able to get out of it.
Jimmy Nemi knew that too. I mean, if you notice, you know, Nirvana was right there.
You can use supers for ground game?
Yeah.
Wow.
And Jimmy Nemi picks up that round, is stopping Tubazo from tying it up here.
I mean, I tried playing Carl once. It's so hard to keep track of Nirvana too, and Jimmy Nemi just seems to be so masterful at that. You know, knowing, even though Nirvana's off the screen, knowing exactly what to do at the right time. Doing the setups. Getting in the damage whenever he can. Keeping the screen full. Doing the loop.
Going through the motion.
That loop is just really sexy.
Oh, man.
Depends on which end you're on.
Yeah.
The giving or the receiving.
He's going for the guard crush. And Tubazo just jumps out freely.
And right now, Tubazo down to about 30%. He's blown his barrier, but is looking for a comeback right here.
I mean, anything can happen in this match still. Any character could kill the other in one combo right now.
Doll's down, so now would be it.
And if you look, he's keeping the space. He's not letting Carl out. Carl's going to get crushed.
Obviously, curse maintenance in that particular match, like very, very important. And like you said, he kind of zoned off, was back. He waited. He had the curse when the doll went down, and then that seemed like it's time to strike. We're tied 1-1, guys.
Tubazo.
And the winner of this will advance to the winners bracket finals. So we will probably see whoever wins this one stay again. We'll see the winners bracket final. And
so basically, Tubazo could have 4 in a row if he plays this game right.
And do you think he can, Tristan?
I think he can. Actually, I mean, obviously you've seen some strong performance from him. He's already got the guard crush. I think he could take it. I'm afraid of Carl.
His innocence.
Well, wait a second. When we started this matchup, you said Carl was so cool, and now
I love Carl. I'm afraid of him, though. If that was me, I would be scared.
Like Freddy Krueger. You're scared of him, but he's cool.
Yeah, he's totally cool.
Got him. All right, well, right now, Jemmy Nemi in this first round of what will be the deciding game.
Nirvana's back.
Did he do enough damage, though? That's the question.
No.
It's like he just keeps hacking away, and Tubazo gets yet another one in there. Takes the first round of the last and deciding game. The winner of this will move on to the winner's bracket finals. And then, of course, the grand finals to be played on Sunday. Very excited for that. The whole day, rather.
It's always funny watching Tubazo play. I mean, if you were here and you could see him play right now, I mean, he plays so calmly for a pad player. It's just like,
What that's supposed to mean? Us pad players are not
No, he plays very calmly.
Oh,
you know,
okay.
it's not, he's not hitting the buttons really hard. He's not, no real jerky motions. I mean, he knows what he's doing.
No, you're absolutely right, actually.
I mean, he's just so collected.
He doesn't play claw either. He plays regular.
Yeah, he's got to kind of.
This is the winner bracket final. Oh, I was misinformed. I apologize. So basically, the winner of this will guarantee their spot in the finals match Sunday. The loser will have to battle their way back through. But we've got the potential to see this rematch on finals day, which will be Sunday. Jemmy Nemi picks up that round. We're tied 1 apiece now in the winner bracket final. Thank you for that clarification.
Still 2 out of 3, or are we going 3 out of 5 now?
Is it 3 out of 5?
It should be 3 out of 5, I believe.
For winner's bracket. All right, so it is 3 out of 5.
Okay,
Fake
so
out.
we're up 1 game apiece after this Tatsunoko versus Capcom. At least that's what I got on the last update, guys. We'll continue to go here, but we're definitely, well, last year about this time when we were doing Devastation, I don't think we had shown a match yet. So I think we're in pretty good.
You're right.
I think we're in pretty good shape. And actually, Tatsunoko versus Capcom was the first game we did last year, Devastation 2009.
Got some trivia.
So we're already ahead of the game. Let's get back to the action here.
Oh, the sandwich.
There it goes.
Really smart with the barrier burst there. Nirvana is running a little bit out of health.
And is actually about to go into recharge mode.
Nirvana has no meter right now.
And then, so how I understand it is that has to recharge before she's usable again.
Only when she's fully disabled and she's doing the recharge, she will regenerate over time. But as you can see,
and that's right now.
Yeah, right now.
Okay.
Uh-oh.
Wow, very, very nice.
I don't think Tubazo knew he was going to get that. He was a little shocked there for a second.
He's like, what the heck? It worked.
All right, winner's bracket final of Blaz Blue. The winner of this matchup will be guaranteed a spot in the finals on Sunday for Devastation 2010 Blaz Blue. Coming up next, Tatsunoko versus Capcom. Right now, we've got Jemmy Nemi taking on Tubazo. Both these guys pretty much gone undefeated through the whole winner's bracket, and we got a chance to feature both of them here on the stream. They're doing a great job. Tristan, we saw really early aggression and victory from Jemmy Nemi, and ever since that moment, Tubazo is just kind of, I don't know, turned up the heat, changed his game a little bit, but he seems to be sort of playing a different tune than he was in those first few rounds.
I think he's making Jemmy Nemi work a little bit harder for his setups.
Oh, big crush.
That is big damage.
Look at the damage.
Like 45% damage on that.
But look at
Here we go. Look at the damage on this one.
Right now, Jemmy Nemi really needs Nirvana.
Is about to come back in.
And Nirvana's going to be back.
Oh, that could be it.
Nice.
That could be it.
Nice. And that's going to tie us up here in game 3, 2 rounds apiece. Winner of this will take the leads in games. It's best of 5 games right now. So.
It's best of 5.
And each player is 1-1.
All right, so obviously we saw some good super usage there. In the last matchup, both of them scoring a nice one. Caro with one in the corner and then one to win.
Caro is very close to getting barrier crushed. With the guard Libra.
Well, this potential scenario is where Tubazo really shines with both of his opponents in the corner, and he did very short work looking to get another perfect.
Yeah, I mean, and at this point, Nirvana's down. There's just not
there
much
it
more
is.
to do.
Wow.
It's like a copy and paste of a
talking
setup.
a little bit about momentum, you know, always a big thing when it comes to competitive gaming. You don't want to lose a round like that. On round 3, deciding round, going into the next one. Tubazo can essentially guarantee his spot in the finals just by winning 3 rounds in a row right here.
Easy peasy.
So Jemmy Nemi needs to win this game in order to take it all the way. No character switches, and I think that's good. That's how the way we like it. Obviously, both these two players very well versed with their character.
It almost seems as if Jimmy Nemi may not know how to play against Artakune as well. As Tubazo definitely seems to have the I know how to play against Carl attitude.
Okay.
Jimmy Nemi's doing what Carl would do on any character. Not so much, I don't see anything that's really Artakune specific.
Oh,
you
this
know,
is not good.
But this loop is just,
This is
just
not
so brutal.
okay.
And he's
Finally.
got so many of them too. He's got, you know, the throw loop, the ground loop.
Uh-oh.
And
Little
hit right
battle
back
cry
into that one.
from Zoe as he ran into that.
Jemmy Nemi turning on life support there, winning that round. He needs these next 2 to tie it back up 2 apiece. The winner of this will move on to the grand final on Sunday for Blaze Blue. By the way, thanks for joining us, Tristan.
Oh yeah, not a problem,
Appreciate that.
anytime.
I know you'd rather be doing this than working anyway, so.
There is a lot of work that needs to be done.
All right, here. So we have we're in game number 4 right now. Jemmy Nemi does have the round advantage with 1 round up, and was pretty much took property in the corner in that last round, and Carl certainly took advantage of that.
Damage on this.
But again, changing
And just
things
positions
up.
himself perfectly, gets an overhead. That's really all he needed. Setting up for big damage, kind of keeping Artakune in place, giving Nirvana time to charge. Such a smart move.
Yeah, now what's different about this one is that in other cases,
grab it
my
for the
gosh. Tubazo will
2
match
rounds
around
away.
there. But in other cases, when Dahl's been down, we haven't seen Carl or Jemmy Nemi be ultra aggressive. It's usually the other way around. But since he already had him cornered, I'm assuming that that's why he had the liberty to do that.
Yeah, he definitely wanted to do that. If you notice, Jimmy Nemi almost never finishes any of his air combos with the little strike that he was doing there. It's a slower move. You know, every few seconds counts. You want to get as much time as you can to try to get Nirvana back.
Not a good situation for Zoe.
He's buying time. You know, it hits him kind of far away.
Ooh. Pretty devastating. Barrier first.
How did he
Ooh, well placed.
Tubazo. How does he do it?
Still
I mean,
showing some life left in him.
It looked like Jimmy Nemi knew that super was
Yeah.
Now, he seems, Tubazo, it seems like on almost every single time he's teleported across stream there, Carl has caught him with that air grab.
Yeah, he's definitely.
He's on to his tricks.
Yeah.
And Jemmy Nemi needs this round to tie it up 2-2, and that will make a very dramatic final game, as everything will be on the wire. At least that will, you know, the winner will stay alive and undefeated going into that grand final, and that's a big deal, going in undefeated. You have a little bit of room to breathe. You have some room for mistakes, although none of these guys want to actually make mistakes, but it is important to have that available to you. Right now we're seeing Jemmy Nemi kind of return some of the initial damage that we saw from Tubazo, but this is
Jimmy Nemi's trying to get away for a second.
It's such an important round for him. He could take it to game number 5 right here. He does not want to let Tubazo get this round.
Ran back to his mommy.
Yeah. A little bit under 10% health. Tubazo looking to close it out. Can he do it?
Invisible right now. 30 seconds left on the clock.
I think that's it. 1 round away from closing it out.
So very, very interesting situation right now. Tubazo wins this one, and he will move on to the grand finals on Sunday. If Jemmy Nemi wins this one, then we're tied 2 games apiece, and we're going to game number 5.
I want to see game 5, fellas.
All right. Well, break it down for us.
Oh, wow. Already close to 50% health gone from Tubazo.
Tubazo played it smart, he waited.
has not even landed a hit on Jemmy Nemi.
Jimmy Nemi wants it.
He wants it, boy.
Yeah, I agree with you guys. You can really tell. He wants to stay alive.
Jimmy Nemi's in the corner with a negative penalty. If there were ever a time that Tuvazo could make just history and comeback,
Tuvazo's chipping
I think
away.
It's gonna be right now.
He is chipping away.
Nirvana's
Not going to be
back.
enough. Is it going to be enough?
Oh,
No,
wow.
denied.
This is so intense.
And Jemmy Nemi picks it up. We're going to game number 5 here in an exciting winners bracket final to finish Blaze Blue for the day. All smiles over
All
there.
that's what I was going to say.
All smiles.
That evil grin.
I like that. I see Marn in the background there.
Is
what's
Marn
that?
smiling?
Evil
What's up with that
geniuses?
expression on his face?
What? The Street Fighter player signed to a global esports organization? What kind of craziness? All right, so here we go, guys. Game number 5. This is it for all of the marbles. Well, technically not all the marbles, but what it will do is bring you one step closer to those marbles. As the winner of this matchup will move on to the grand final taking place Sunday here at Devastation 2010, the Phoenix Convention Center. We reset rounds, and now these guys fight for broke, go for broke.
I mean, it's a guaranteed first or second place at this point. So.
Yeah. All right, so far, Jemmy Nemi starting this one, taking that momentum from the game number 4, which he definitely had some good momentum, and really dishing it out to Tuvazo right now, as not only did he get a couple of good throws in there, but also looping those.
Was Jimmy Nemi sandbagging the last?
I'm starting to wonder.
I don't know. You know what? Chad thought that maybe Tuvazo was taking a little bit. So there's a difference in opinion according to the fans out there that are watching live.
Well, I think it seems like Jemmy Nemi just realized, okay, this is what's on the line here. Let me start playing.
Look at that. Nirvana's down already. We're barely 20 seconds into the round. There's so much happening right there. Got the throw break. The window's so big for that. He's trying to go for the barrier crush. Guard crush. Nirvana's back in the game.
Yep. And right now, Tuvazo with just an exorbitant amount of energy. He shouldn't have too much problem.
Not a good situation. He's flirting with it.
Seen some different stuff out of Jemmy Nemi.
Yeah. Oh no.
Trying to stay alive, man.
If Nirvana had just hit him, he would have had the loop going. That would have been
game over.
Would have been done. But I'd rather see the action. I like that it's 1-1 right now. It's definitely intense. I've never seen BlazBlue quite played like this before. There's not that many great Carl players, so it's always excellent when you see one. You just never know what you're going to get into.
Big corner damage coming out there by Tuvazo, and we also have Nirvana down, so another advantage for Tuvazo at this point.
Got out of the burst.
There we go.
Nirvana's down. Tuvazo's gonna take this.
Yeah, wow.
2-1.
Wow.
One round away from finishing it.
And this is match point right here for Tuvazo. So Jemmy Nemi's got 2 rounds to catch up. He must win the next 2. Otherwise, Tuvazo wins this one, and he is sitting pretty in the grand final coming Sunday.
We're going to see this again.
You know what? I mean, you look at it, and I don't want to break in the action here, but Tuvazo wins this. You got to look at a player like Jemmy Nemi and just how we've seen him play Carl. How many other people in this room will be able to combat with something like this? So I could see that in what you're saying. And it looks like Tuvazo might be able to take it. He already has the life advantage. See if Jemmy Nemi can bring it back.
I want to see if he can bring it back. I really think that these are definitely 2 strong players. I want to see a round 5 in game 5. You don't see that a lot in fighting games, just, down to the wire.
Not very often.
The negative warning right now. Nirvana's back in the game. Tuvazo's playing it super safe.
actually pulled the teleport
so much
off.
damage. We need something just real cute right now.
No, I think he's gonna try to peck in
This
there,
is
but
looking
hold
all
out.
like Tabazo's game. You
Oh,
know
yeah,
what? It
yeah.
looks like
Just
he's
15
playing a
seconds
smart
left on the
game.
clock. He could just run it down.
I think that's what he's gonna try to do, play it safe. There it
Good,
is.
and there it is. Tubazo finds himself after 3 matches in a row on the stream sitting in the grand final that will take place Sunday here for Devastation
Well, we'll probably see this match again,
2010.
Let's bring him
Well,
in.
I'll make sure to drop that in there.
He wants his controller.
Well, you're going to have to give up your seat, son.
Oh, I'm totally good.
All right.
Get back to Halo.
Come on over. This guy started the day. This guy started the game day commentating here with us. Next thing you know, he's sitting pretty in the grand final that'll take place Sunday. Now,
Sunday.
you got to be excited about it. I got to know. In all fairness, you're like, yeah, I'm gonna come playing some matches. I hope I do pretty well, you know. And all of a sudden, we see you just knock down 1, 2, 3 in a row.
And he's sweating. Look at him. He got him sweating.
Oh man, I play, like I said, I played Blaze Blue since it started in like late summer last year, and Jimmy gave me one of the best matches I've had.
Well, it was entertaining for us too.
I'm glad. I wouldn't have. He was solid. It was awesome, and I was totally okay with letting him have it at that point because I was tired.
All right, so one thing to note is that Jemmy Nemi got this pretty early start on you. We were commenting over here on the couch. I don't know if you could hear us or not. We were talking about, you know, it seemed like a pretty fast rush down, almost like caught you by surprise. But then after that game was over, it seemed like you sort of turned the tables there. What changed with your game in that particular
With my game, to be completely honest, I want to say button mashing. Somewhere in between, I just got really lucky.
Right,
like I said,
enough.
it was a good match. Overall, though, I started seeing some patterns. I can give myself credit for that I started seeing some patterns in how he was controlling Nirvana, how he was trying to trap me from teleporting, and more or less, I wouldn't say, again, I'm no freaking Justin Wong or anybody high level. I wasn't thinking about what if scenarios, this, that. I was just thinking, okay, he's been doing this, let me try to do that. And I caught him on a really few lucky bugs that I was trying to get off to give myself credit. I'm not one of those. I still want to hype him up because it was amazing.
What are the chances that we see you versus
Again,
Jemmy
that's what I was
Nemi
gonna say.
again
What are you gonna
in the
do
grand
again if it
finals?
happens?
You think pretty high?
Again, I think I'm going to be a different character. I think.
You might be a different character.
Yeah.
But what about Jemmy Nemi's chances of making it there to the grand finals?
He was amazing. When I saw him play Necro Sun, my buddy PJ, I thought it was really cool. He had a really cool Carl that I've seen a lot online, but didn't really get a chance to meet in person. And not to mention seeing him on a stick too. Most of the time it's on a control pad or something. And seeing how I think I saw him fight Order Soul near the semi or something. That was, from what I saw, a close fight. So overall,
it's there's still a few players in that pool that could surprise someone and make it out.
I can't talk more good about how well Order Soul has been playing, and seeing him fall to Jemmy Nemi really makes me still think that it's anybody's game from this point on.
All right, well, congratulations to Dubazo. You haven't won yet, but you're so close, dude, so close. We'll see this guy Sunday for the Blaze Blue Finals. So if you're here on Sunday, you're watching the stream on Sunday, you're going to get to see this guy compete again. Thanks also for commentating, brother. We really appreciate it. Awesome. We are going to take a break, and I believe when we come back, we've got
TVC.
TVC. All right, so we're going to probably take I'm just warning them, guys, a little bit longer break because we actually have to switch out some equipment, obviously going from PS3 to Wii. So when we come back, TVC action as we battle it out here and continue the fighting at Devastation 2010. I'm DJ Wheat. We got Swoozy and Tubazo, one of our now finalists for Blaze Blue. We'll be back after this. Don't go away.
which is great. Spiteful actually plays Rachel. I also play Rachel. And I played a lot of matches against Tubazo today, so I'm really excited to see what goes down.
Why do you like this game?
I really like it.
No, hold on. I didn't mean that as like total hate. I mean, Tubazo, you can tell how much he loves this game because he relates everything to Super. And then he talks about how much BlazBlue is so much better. So I'm just,
Oh, man.
I don't know if I love it that
curious.
much, but it's really good. There's a lot of things in the system engine that kind of make it fair. You know, there's different ways that you can wake up that, you know, that's not in Super. You tech it up or you don't, you know. You have different tech rolls. There's tech catches. The throw breaks are cool. You can combo into throws. I think that's a really neat feature that you don't see that often. Just some of the different elements of the game, like it's sort of like Guilty Gear, but you know, like Rachel, she can control the wind. That's kind of a cool thing that you've never really seen in a fighting game before, except for Storm.
I was going to say, except for Storm.
Except for Storm. And she plays exactly the same.
All right, I think we're ready. We're good?
Yep.
All right, we're ready when you guys are ready.
All right, so we got Spiteful over on P1, and we got Tubazo, who just took a break from the...
I know, he's not playing Tao, he's playing Artakune.
Uh-oh. Fake out.
Yeah, that's what he said. That.
All right.
He was
well, that's really
play.
good, because these are both top-tier characters. So,
are you playing in BlazBlue?
I am not actually playing in BlazBlue. I'm kind of sad.
Okay, now we had a little debate earlier because I hear some people come up here call it Blaze, some people call it Blaz. In the chat room, they're undecided as well. But now Zoe told me in the game they call it Blaze.
It's probably Blaze because that's what they do in Japan, but there's no E, so it's Blaz.
Aha. So the debate continues.
Yeah, it's Brash Blue.
It's B-Blue.
All right, break it down for us.
All right, so basically what's going on right now is it's going to be a rushdown match. Like this entire match is going to be rushdown. They're both rushdown characters. Basically, Spiteful is going to try to put as many items on the screen as humanly possible, and Artakune is going to do the exact same thing. So you're going to see a lot of what the hell is going on here.
No, I mean, they're both setup characters.
Yeah, and you're going to see a lot of that. You're just going to be wondering, like, why are people getting hit? Right now, Spiteful's a negative warning, so he's taking more damage, and that's not going to work very well. Actually, Artakune is very good against Rachel, but once Rachel kind of picks up momentum, she will do that.
Exactly what we're seeing right now.
Right, and she's got a lot of different cool setups. Artakune does what also. So I mean, I think that this is probably one of the best matchups. I mean, these are obviously two wonderful fighters.
I mean, in terms of like traditional fighting game characters, Artakune seems to be like the extreme of them.
Yeah, I would say so. I mean, if you look at the different movesets, like, you know, he can teleport, he's got, wow.
Oh, right, good, super.
Tubazo knows what he's doing.
He does. I think he's been paying attention.
I feel bad. I feel like Spiteful maybe had some easy matches, got a little bit of confidence.
And now he's the big boys.
Yeah, and like now he's playing with the real folks.
Well, no, just listening to Zoe talk a little bit, he seems like he's very well versed in the setups and things of that nature. So
he set me up by playing Artakune and not Tao Kaka.
And that's what I'm saying. It's constant, like it's like chess at 100 miles an hour when it comes to a lot of these fighting games, especially the fast-paced ones. Yep. I mean, imagine if you could play chess and have rushdown in chess. That's basically what's going on right here in a lot of these fighting games.
It's called speed chess.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
So right now, what's basically going to be happening? Spiteful's really going to try to not get hit anymore. He needs to build up that momentum.
That strategy's not working out.
Oh, it's not working at all. Like she takes a little bit more damage, so that doesn't work out in her favor. But once she gets going, she's so good.
But again, it takes like a certain level of setup.
Yeah, you got to get started. I mean, especially with these two characters. If it was anybody else, it'd be a little bit more one-sided. But with the characters, it's just whoever kind of lands the first hit gets the momentum going. They should be able to keep it the entire round. You're going to see a lot of Spiteful needs to do more frog setups. Yes! That right there. So we got a little bit of back and forth action here.
Tell me, when I see the around Rachel, it's like, isn't it like a curse that Artakune puts on? What are the properties of that?
Basically what that curse does is there's tracking, like those like the stuff that just kind of flies out of him, like all like the gunk and stuff. Like those will do attacks. And basically once it hits, like it's sort of like a tracking. So he's got 3 different versions of the cloud that he can throw out. There's one that just kind of floats above them. There's the ring that tracks as well. And hold on, some good stuff's happening right here. Like basically Rachel needs to do more of the pumpkin. We got a little trophy going right now. Throw more stuff. Both of these players are playing.
Oh, that's it. Ended it again with a super.
Spiteful hangs his head in shame.
And that means Tabaza's going to pick up that first round.
Yep.
First game, rather. And he's going to stick with Rachel. Spiteful will stick with Rachel.
I think only plays Rachel.
Okay.
That's unfortunate because it didn't work the first time. Let's wish him the best of luck.
In the third round, though, had at least a little bit better start. You were talking about a specific setup that he should have gone after.
Yeah,
from
you
your
want to do frog setups, use the pumpkin a lot. Yeah, the pumpkin's really good for getting in, and Rachel needs to be in. Like, really far away, she's just garbage.
Even with her rods down?
Yeah, I mean, with the rods down, that
Damn.
helps a little bit, but, I mean, once she's in, it's all 50-50 mix-up. Like, you never know what's going to happen. She's got so many highs and lows. You can do instant down forward C, so it's kind of like a triangle jump. That works really well.
Now, from a Rachel point of view, is playing against another setup character, is that a little bit more difficult of a matchup?
Yes, it is. It's a much more difficult matchup to do that, just because, I mean, the game is all the setup, and as you can see right now, Rachel's pretty much stuck.
Right.
Spiteful could have used the barrier guard a little bit, not taking damage. But yeah, it's, you want to get your setups off, but they're trying to get their setups off at the same time. A lot of times it clashes. And then you get, there you go.
That looked like a pretty nice one.
Spiteful's starting to get serious.
Well, Spiteful's still not on the board with a round yet, and we're already in the second set. So, I mean, I think Zoe really has figured out what he needs to do here in order to get these rounds without, like, really even giving up a single one.
Yeah, like, as I said before, I mean, I was playing BlazBlue Casuals earlier. I actually didn't know who he was. And so he sat down. I was like, hey, let's play some matches. And he really shocked me. He knows his game really well. He definitely knows how to play against Rachel, which that's half the game right there. Just knowing how to play against the other character.
And that was something we talked about. These characters being so, deep in terms of the style and how you play them. And, then having to know all your character matches specifically get a little rough. So this is game point right now for Tubazo.
Yep. Spiteful needs an upset right now. And then also, Arakune has the teleport, which gets him easily across the screen. He can cover so much ground. It's really hard. Like, he doesn't have any extra meter for that, for like the teleport and stuff, where it's like Rachel has to use wind to move very quickly. And so you have to be cautious of how much wind you have all the time. And it's so much easier for Arakune to get to where he needs to go. He has protection with the little curse cloud. You don't want to be a negative warning, Spiteful.
I mean, the mobility of Arakune seems pretty ridiculous to me.
He's extremely mobile.
Okay, Spiteful getting something going here. Open him up with that overhead and then just started chipping away.
Yep. Tubazo actually saw the throw and teched it. There's a lot of frames on the attack throws. You can combo into throws, as I said earlier, but there's a much larger frame window to break it.
Here he goes. He's trying to get that round.
This is probably one of the most intense matches I've seen today.
Uh-oh.
There you go.
Danger. 19 seconds on the clock. Zoe has his back against the wall. He's going to have to fight his way out of this one.
Yeah. Once you get the curse, though, it's so much easier. Like, he's got it now. It's like just straight up lockdown.
Is it going to be enough to chip damage it? No, I don't think so.
It's probably not going to be enough.
Not enough to chip. Oh, wait for it. Oh, good D.
Tubazo's a little, he thought he had it for a second.
Good D. Spiteful's got some fans in the crowd.
We got some Spiteful love over here. We want Spiteful to win.
Well, you're supposed to stay unbiased as a commentator. Just I don't know if you.
They want Spiteful to win.
Oh no, they. I thought you said we.
They want Spiteful to win.
Okay. Well, it looks like Zoe is not too happy with the outcome of that last round.
It's all right.
Barely taking some chip damage so far.
He can kind of play around for a little bit.
That he can.
Maybe size up the opponent. See what might work. You know, they may meet later on in the finals or something.
Correct.
Like you want to kind of feel them out.
Come back out of losers.
It's always possible.
Maybe that one round win, even though it was
enough to wake
time
him up.
over.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, wait a second, I can actually get some rounds.
Yeah, they could be learning, you know, Spiteful could be learning how Tubazo's playing, learn how to get out of some of the setups.
You talked about the frog setup. Can you explain this to me?
Yeah,
I mean,
basically.
He's cute and all, but what's he doing?
Uh-oh.
Yeah, the frog, with the setup, you can basically throw the frog out, and then, you know, you'll do your combo, and then the frog will hit, and that'll continue the combo longer. And then you can just throw out another frog, which is something that isn't in the new version of Black Blue. In this one, you can cancel the frog into a frog. So there's a ton of setups that kind of play around that. There's mid-screen frog setups. There's corner frog setups. They're all really good. And basically, because, I mean, as you guys have seen on the screen here, the frog shoots off this bolt of electricity. It hits for multiple hits. You can cancel it into itself. The character's still kind of in that shock mode.
Well, again, we're seeing Spiteful, I mean, really change up his game. Apparently, the moment that Tubazo went on game point, it just completely changed things. Now, his first win, round win, was a time over, and it was close. It was almost just chip damage into loss. But now suddenly he's kind of changed things up. Can you see anything that he's doing differently that maybe he wasn't doing in the first game, Tristan?
I think now he's kind of feeling out the game better. He's definitely using the pumpkin a lot more, playing a little bit more offensive. Before, he was kind of waiting to see what was going to happen, and then he would try to get out of whatever Tubazo was throwing at him, and that didn't seem to work out for him. So now he's like, well, I'm just going to take the offensive. And Tubazo, if you notice, like, Tubazo actually changed his game a little bit. He started running away.
Here we go.
There you go.
Oh, there it is. Oh!
We got the barrier
Calm
burst.
down, guy.
Oh,
That's it.
Yeah. Yeah, that.
The two players shakes hands.
Please select your character.
I think we should check Tubazo's Afro pick. I think he has some magical powers tucked away in that thing.
Well, we're going to be continuing the blast. Would you like to sit in with us a little
No,
bit
bring
more?
Tubazo back. I want to hear what he has to say.
Okay.
Because that was just excellent performance.
Okay, well, I'll tell you what.
He's
We're
walking away.
gonna get ready on our next matches. Check on the brackets, and when we come back, we're going to continue the coverage of Blast Blue up to the point where basically the finals will be played on Sunday.
That's correct.
So it's kind of one of those things where once it hits the stream, it gets played out, and then it will be Sunday when the finals actually play out. So I believe we still got a few more matches in Blast Blue before we continue on to the next game, but so far so good. Thanks for joining us here at Devastation 2010. I'm DJ Wheat, this is Tristan, this is Swoozy, and we'll be back with more right after this. Don't go away, guys.